Welcome to Naptime Sports Talk Podcast. We are two dads talking sports during nap times. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode. Welcome back to the Naptime Sports Talk Podcast. In Season 2 of Episode 4, we are coming fresh off the Minnesota Vikings victory over the New York Jets, 23-17 over in London, to move the Vikings to a 5-0 start. The first time since 8 years ago, we started off 5-0. But before we dive in the game, there's just some other Minnesota sports talk I kind of want to get into. Since the last time we've had an episode 2, an NBA trade was finalized between the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves that sends Karl Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks, and the Timberwolves received Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, Keita Bates-Diop, and then a future first-round pick from the Knicks that belonged to the Detroit Pistons. So, huge trade in the NBA. Looking forward to the NBA season that will be upcoming here in the coming weeks, and hopefully the T-Wolves will be right back in the playoffs again this year and make a run for the NBA championship. And then in other news, on Thursday, October 10th, coming up this week, the Minnesota Wild kick off their season versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. So really looking forward to the Minnesota Wild season. Hopefully we can get back in the playoffs this year. So that's upcoming and some things to kind of look forward to. So then welcome back, Dan, Big D, to the podcast today. So DC, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's always good after a Vikings victory, that's for sure. So I can smile a little more, and it just kind of makes my week get off to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good victory. Like I said, I didn't watch much of the game today because I was at work, but it was just a good atmosphere at work today because we turned it on our breakfast area, and before the game, there were good 20 to 30 Viking fans. They were actually doing the Skulls chant in the breakfast area, and that was actually really cool to see. And that just like amped me up, made me a great day for it. And so I'm glad those people did. Yeah, there were some Packer fans there like that, but it was awesome to see all the Viking fans together in the dining room area watching the game and eating breakfast at the same time. It was really cool to see that this morning.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So diving right into the game, we can just dive right in here. So the first quarter, Vikings came out hot start. 63-yard pick six by Andrew Van Ginkel, man. He keeps making plays out there. That was awesome. And then we also had Reichard make another field goal. So I think today he was 3 for 3 on field goals. Keeps just doing really, really well. And overall, the first half was looking really, really good. CJ Ham, shout out to CJ. He scored a rushing touchdown there. And he actually scored the only offensive touchdown in this game for the Vikings. And that was in the second quarter, kind of late in the second quarter. Unfortunately, though, at the end of these second quarters, we've been kind of giving up some points. So, again, we saw the Jets score a touchdown right before halftime. And then, we come out into the third quarter, and the whole second half, again, was just a very sluggish second half for the Vikings offensively. Defensively, they did really well, gave up some things here and there. We had a pretty bad roughing the punter call on us that, you just had to be smarter there. That gave the Jets the ball back after a long 4th and 1 or a long 4th down, and they drove down the field and ended up capitalizing off of that. And then in the fourth quarter there, Darnold threw that interception about midfield, and the Jets capitalized on that by coming away with points as well. So just a couple things here and there that they got to keep cleaning up, and hopefully in the second half so we can be a little stronger. So, but kind of getting deep into it a little more. So I just want to go back to the first quarter here, or just we're going to look at some stats today. So overall today, I thought Sam Darnold kind of struggled. He made some good plays, but he was 14 of 31, so less than 50% on his completion percentage. You saw some balls being overthrown. We see some balls, just kind of not maybe the best accuracy and not getting to the best spots where he's kind of pinpointing. But overall, he managed the game pretty well. The rushing attack for us today was something that went down. We came out pretty strong with Aaron Jones flying out. Unfortunately, Aaron Jones ended up leaving the game early on in the game with some type of injury. Looked like a lower body injury, so hopefully he'll be okay after the bye week. But overall, I thought defensively we keep playing really, really well. Held Green Bay to only 250, not Green Bay, New York Jets to only 254 total yards of offense, 36 rushing yards. We picked Aaron Rodgers off 3 times, and he threw for 54, had 54 pass attempts too, which is just crazy. But overall, the defense keeps flying out there. We keep making plays. We did get to the quarterback. We did get to Rodgers 3 times a day, and I think we held them to. They didn't get their first down until I believe it was late in the second quarter. Or actually, let me see here. I have it written down in my notes. Yeah, so we didn't allow a first down until the second quarter, so that was pretty impressive. That was kind of early on in the second quarter, but the hold them without a first down the whole first quarter was really impressive on defense. They were 5 for 17 on third down. The Jets, they went for a fourth down, a short, and we stuffed them, which was awesome. So overall, we keep playing really, really good defense, and hopefully this offense can figure out the second half, because it's been interesting how we just kind of seem to struggle here in the second half of games offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Another big killer too was some penalties on offense. I know in the third quarter we had a nice carry by Chandler off on the right side, and unfortunately he was brought back for, I think it was a legal shift. And then we had another one where in the third quarter you had a nice run, and it came back for a block in the back, which was just a stupid move by Ingram, because Chandler was already pretty much up the field at that point, and he hit the guy in the back. So just not very smart plays by some of these guys. And like I said, hopefully we can just keep cleaning this up and all that. So
Mm-hmm. Hey, and did Donald get hurt like for like a play or two? It looked like he got his like wind knocked out of him or something.
yeah, he got hit right in the midsection. He came out for one play. Actually, when he came out for one play, Nick Mullins hit a 24-yard pass for us and got us a first down. And then the very next play, Sam Darnold came in and he pitched a good ball right to Chandler, and Chandler hit his hands and we fumbled it and didn't get the ball, and they recovered it on us. So that was a blunder too in the game. But yeah, just offensively, the lulls in the third and second half have just been interesting, and really, kind of getting off to a hot start in the first and second quarter. But when it comes to the second half, that third quarter, that's 2 games or 2 weeks in a row where we've had a goose egg of 0, and we haven't really done much in those third quarters. So hopefully we can figure that out and become a more complete 4-quarter team, because we keep getting bailed out a little bit by our defensive play. But if the defensive play ends up having a hiccup here and there, well, we're going to be struggling if we can't put the points on the board offensively in some of these games, especially coming up. Next, like I said, we go on a bye here next week, and after that, we got a huge game versus the Detroit Lions at home. So that is going to be a battle. That's on October 20th at 12 o'clock as of right now. So
Yeah, like because it was this game like probably our worst offense appearance we did all year.
mm, that's a good question. It definitely was not as, the Green Bay first half was a lot better than our first half this week. And we did give up 4 sacks today too, so our offense line struggled at times. They kept kind of, I would say, blowing up the middle of our offensive line. There's a couple plays where Bradbury got pounded pretty far back, but he's going up versus Quinnen Williams, who's one of the better defensive interior linemen in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, yeah, it's just the second half was pretty similar, I'd say, to the Green Bay second half
Okay.
with offensively. It probably has been, maybe it was our worst offensive game of the year because we did only score one offensive touchdown since we had that pick six by Andrew Van Ginkel
Mm-hmm.
early on the game. So yeah, I definitely could see that this could have been our worst offensive performance, and it was definitely I think Darnold's worst offensive performance if you're looking at his completion percentage. You know,
Yeah.
because he only completed less than 50% of his passes.
And like, and it's kind of nice that like we haven't come into a bye week, and then we have a rival against Detroit come off the bye, but we're gonna get a weapon back. We get Hawkinson back, so that's gonna spike up our offense a little bit. So hopefully that will like make him go for offense and give Down more targets and everything. So that could be the little spark coming off the bye week.
Yeah, you know, it's not officially said that he's gonna be back yet, but hopefully we do get him back for that
Yeah,
game. He's either gonna be back in that game or the week after that.
yeah.
So
But hopefully he comes back against Detroit. Like I know they don't want to rush him or anything because, like you said, he just got off by ACL injury from last year. They don't want to rush him, but if he does come back, that's going to help us a lot.
no, no doubt about it. I'm super excited to get him back too. So hopefully that'll help over the middle of the field too with Hawkinson. But hey, we're 5-0.
Yeah,
Who, you know, at this point of the season, 5-0 going in the bye.
I'll
Super
take it.
happy about that.
I'll
So,
take it. I take it.
you know, the fact that we have to sit here and we can talk about some things that they need to fix, it's a lot easier when we're winning versus when we're losing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
super happy that we are continuing to find ways to end finish games, even though that it has been pretty close over the last few weeks. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens versus Detroit. I know Detroit is on a bye week this week, and yeah, it's probably be a pretty good a really good game. So I wonder who they play the week after their bye. So they got the Cowboys next week, so that'll be a tough matchup for them too. So yeah, it'll be interesting. The NFC North, you know, that's gonna be a battle. That game for the NFC North, especially at this point, being 5-0, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we should have a really we should have a really good chance of making the playoffs from this point on. Because if you look at our schedule, we have the Lions, we have the Rams, we have the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Bears, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Bears, the Seahawks, the Packers, and Lions. So there's a lot of winnable games in that rest of our schedule here. And, you know, we've been playing like one of the better teams in the NFL, especially on defense.
Yeah, like like I said, we're playing good ball on both sides of the balls, but we can't really count on our defense like every single week bailing us out. Like our offense needs to step up a little bit more and give the ball to our playmakers and everything, and play all four quarters of the game instead of relying on our defense playing all four quarters to bail us out for getting us a victory.
Oh, no doubt about it. You know, like we have to find ways to close out games offensively, especially when we're up 17-0. Last week we were up 28-0. You know, we can't let these teams climb back in it. And part of that is, you know, defense is going to bend and break here and there, you know, especially in this day of the NFL where it's a very offensive driven game where teams can score quickly. So we need to find better ways to complement our defense a little more, especially in the second half of football games. But I think our defense has been playing really, really well over these, you know, the first 5 games of the season. Maybe last week in the second half, you could say, hey, we did not play as greatly as we have been. You know, part of that too was we have to remember that, you know, the Packers were kind of running up tempo offense. Flores loves to move guys in and out of the defense every play. And so they, you know, they had a really smart plan where LaFleur found something that he really liked versus our defense and did the quick tempo. We weren't able to sub that package out, and he kept attacking it. So that's just really good coaching. But like you said, hopefully our offense can figure it out because you know what, our defense is going to have a game where we're going to need our offense to score a
Yeah,
little more than what we've been doing. Especially when we play some of these teams coming up, like the Lions can put points up pretty quick. The Rams, they can put points up pretty quick. So it's going to be interesting. But hey, I just want to do a quick experiment here. You know, I didn't think I think this will be kind of fun. So right now we're 5-0 DC. Let's just run through the rest of the schedule and see what, you know, our prediction could be for wins and losses for the rest of the season from this point on after the bye week.
okay.
So yeah, our next game after the bye is versus the Lions. What do you think on that one? It's a
I
home
I
game versus the Lions.
I think we're gonna come out victor. I think we're gonna be 6-0.
Okay. I am going to agree with you on this one. I think we're going to be 6-0 at that point, too, after that game. Okay. Now, the next game is we go to LA to play the Rams. What do you think on that one?
Um, I think I'm gonna. I think we're gonna go start off with 7-0 because the Rams uh do have some of the key players out on stuff. So I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna go be 7-0.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely. I think I'm more confident in that Rams game versus the Lions game. I think we would. I think we're going to move the 7-0 too. If of our predictions right now. So then we come back on November 3rd. We play the Colts. What do you think of that one?
See that's gonna be a tough game too because we don't know if Joe Flacco is gonna play or Andy Richardson's gonna play, but they got Taylor too, and that defense is not that bad. So I I think we're gonna go 8-0.
Okay. Yeah, Taylor does have a bad ankle right now too, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure how long he's going to be out.
yeah.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to 8-0 too. What do you think? Then we go to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars.
9-0.
Okay. I think this is going to be a trap game for us. I'm going to say that. I think we're going to go to 8-1 after this game.
Okay.
Okay, and then we go to the Titans. What do you think? The Titans.
I so you picked the Jaguars to be your trap team. I'm gonna pick Tennessee to be our trap game. I think we're gonna
Okay.
lose. I think we're gonna lose that game.
Okay. So you're gonna have the Vikes drop to 9-1. I'm gonna have the Vikings go win this one and go 9-1 too. Then we go on to the Chicago Bears playing at Soldier Field.
I'm gonna go for the win.
Okay. So you guys going 10-1?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have us drop this one to the Bears and move the 9-2.
Okay.
Okay. And then we got the Cardinals coming to US Bank Stadium to play us on December 1st. What do you think on that one?
This is gonna be a tough one too. Um, you got Kyler Murray, you got Marvin Harrison, and the guys coming to town. I'm gonna I'm gonna go for the win.
Okay. So you got them moving to 11-1 through the first 13 weeks of the NFL season. You know what? I'm going to have them win this one too. I'm going to have them move the 10-2 on the season. Then we have a rematch, or not rematch, but we have our match versus Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons, our next game after the Cardinals at home.
Like a lot of people know I'm a Vikings and a Falcons fan. Uh, I really want the Vikings to win this game. I really do. But I think Kurt's gonna come in, and I think he's gonna get dub.
All right. So you have us dropping 11-2.
Atlanta's actually playing really good ball right now.
Yeah, they are playing good football. So it just depends on if he's fully healthy at that point in the
Yeah,
season too. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna have the Vikes. I'm gonna have the Vikes lose that game. I think we're gonna go 10-3, or drop to 10-3 at that point. I think Kirk Cole's gonna have a really good game, and I think he's gonna have this last game he threw over for 500 yards, had 4 touchdown passes, and interception. So he's playing super good football. He's got a lot of weapons on that team. So yeah, I think Kirk Cole's gonna be just fine there down in Atlanta. Then the next game we play the Chicago Bears. What do you think?
I think we're gonna sweep the Bears this year.
Okay. So you got us moving to 12-2. I'm gonna have us win this one. I had us losing in Soldier Field. I'm gonna have us split with the Bears and move to 11-3. And then we got the Seahawks. We're going out to Seattle at Lumen Field to play Seattle on December 22nd. It's the weekend before Christmas.
I'm gonna have us lose this one.
Okay. So 12-3 through that week. I'm gonna have us win this one, so we're both at 12-3 right now. Okay, then we have the Green Bay Packers at home.
Oh man, I think the Packers are gonna get the revenge. I think they're gonna beat us at home.
Okay, so you're gonna have us move to 12-4. I'm gonna say the same thing. I think we split with the Packers too this year. 12-4. I'm gonna have us as well at that point. And then here, man, we're sitting at 12-4. Both of us playing the Detroit Lions in Detroit. This is pride for the division at this point.
So we're at home, right?
We're on the road on this one. We were at the home game, the game after the bye week. You had us. We both had them winning that one.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna pick the win, and we're gonna win the division.
All right. So you have the Vikes move to 13-4.
Yeah.
You know what, DC? Let's roll. Let's
Yeah.
sweep the Lions this year. Maybe 13-4. Let's win the NFC North.
Let's go.
So we both have the Vikes going 13-4 after the first 5 weeks in the regular season. That's pretty similar to your regular season prediction before the season started. I can't remember exactly what you had, but I know you had them or us winning the NFC North. I had us going 9-8. So I'm a little off on mine so far, but we'll see what happens. It's a long season. There's a lot of games left. But hey, let's be excited about this 5-0 start and just take one game at a time. And hopefully we just keep on piling up these wins.
I just hope I don't get much hate because I did pick the Jets to beat the Vikings. So hopefully the people out
You
there don't
did.
give me hate on that. But I'm happy that Vikings got the victory. It's a great Sunday. It's gonna be a good rest of the week, and just enjoy this bye week so we don't have to stress out for a week, and just enjoy some football and everything and watch our rivals lose.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I actually had the Vikes winning this week. So yeah, let's go. They didn't let me down. That's for sure.
No, they almost, but this our prediction scores are actually pretty close.
Yeah, they were not too bad. They were not too bad. So, well, moving into just our last topic real quick before we hop off for this episode, I just kind of want to talk about the crazy slate of college football games this weekend. Big D, I'm sorry to say this, but the first team on my list here is your
You
Bama,
would,
your
you
Bama
would.
team losing to Vandy 40-35. So Vandy went and took them out there in Nashville. They actually threw the goalpost down into the river too there, so I thought that was pretty funny. College
Yeah,
football fans, they can be pretty nuts.
they walked that goalpost down like 3 miles.
Yeah, down Broadway Street too. That'd be a sight to see. Then
I
later in the night, go ahead.
like you would put that as your number one game of the week just to rub it into me.
No, it's not my number one game of the week. That's just the slate of all these top.
Yeah.
So to give a little context, number 1 went down, number 4 went down, number 9 went down, number 10 went down, number 11 went down in the college football or in college football. So yeah, there's a lot of upsets this weekend. Number 4 Tennessee got beat by Arkansas 19-14 last night. Arkansas scored right at the end of the game. Texas A&M put a whooping on Missouri 41-10. And our Minnesota Gophers, baby, 24-17 versus USC at home, with the Esco boy Corey Parrish getting the game clinching interception to win it for us. So that was very cool.
Yeah,
And then
that was a very nice interception.
yeah, no doubt. And then Washington getting their little revenge on the Michigan Wolverines. They beat them 27-17 out in Seattle. So
Oh,
there was a
nice.
lot of teams that dropped out or that dropped some games this weekend. And, looking at the AP top 25, it shaked up or was shaken up big time. So Bama was number 1. Now it's Texas back at number 1, Ohio State at 2, Oregon at 3, Penn State at 4. All those teams are 5-0. Georgia at 5. Miami's at 6. They're 6-0 so far this season. And then we got Alabama at 7, Tennessee at 8, Ole Miss at 9, Clemson at 10, Iowa State at 11. They're actually tied with 11 right now with my team, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So they got some help this weekend to keep them in the playoffs hopes alive. LSU is number 13. Number 14 is BYU. They're undefeated too. They're 5-0 so far this season. Texas A&M moved up to 15 from 25. Utah, number 16. Boise State, number 17. speaking of Boise State, Ashton Genty, who I talked about last week, had 186 rushing yards in the first half and 3 touchdowns. They took him out of the game. So what a game by him. Man, he's impressive. So if you haven't watched his highlights, go look him up on YouTube because he's just nuts. Number 18 is Kansas State. Number 18, so there's 2 tied for 18 right now. Or actually 3 kind of tied for 18. It's Kansas State, Indiana. They're 6-0 right now too. Oklahoma, they're 4-1. Then we go down to Missouri. They're number 21. Pittsburgh's 22. Illinois is 23. And Michigan's 24. And SMU is number 25. So that's our top 25 right now. If you're looking at, if you go back to Iowa State and Notre Dame, well, technically 11, 12, but they have them tied right now for 11 with the same amount of votes. So, and that's the same thing with Indiana, Oklahoma, and Missouri. But, or Kansas State, Indiana, Oklahoma, they're all tied for 18, like I said. So,
All right, I have a question for you. In that
yeah,
top
go for
20,
it.
in that top 25, what team will be your surprise team to make the playoffs besides Notre Dame?
My surprise team to make the playoffs. We're only halfway right now, so there's a lot of football left in the college football season. I think Boise State's gonna make it this year. I think they're gonna be one of those smaller conference teams that make the college football playoff.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, I would pick Boise to play in the playoffs, and like I said, I'm a big huge Alabama fan, but it's kind of nice to see all these top 10 teams lose, so it mixes up the rankings a little bit. So it'll mix up the playoffs a little bit, and it'll be new teams in there instead of the exact same teams over and over and over again. So it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, you know what? Losing two at this point of the year is not a killer for some of these teams. Maybe USC because they dropped out of the top 25 completely.
Mm-hmm.
But Bama losing, they only dropped to number 7. Tennessee, they dropped to 8. So these teams are still right there. SEC's tough football. I think the SEC will probably have 3-4 teams in the college football playoff. Big Ten might have 3-4 teams too. And then we'll fill out the rest with maybe the ACC and maybe a Big 12 school or 1 or 2 Big 12 schools and a smaller conference school. So, yeah, there's a lot of football left. And like you said, or the college football playoff, it's nice because, well, hey, if they're still doing the top 4, well, if you lose a game, you're not in the top 5, 6, you're gonna probably struggle to make it to that top 4 playoff. So it's really nice that they expanded that so more teams can get in, and it gives some flexibility for a loss here and there. Because teams do make mistakes, they do mess up, but hey, it kind of penalized them. Look at Georgia last year; they could have easily been in the college football playoff, but they lost in the SEC championship game. They're pretty much number 1 the whole season. They lost the SEC championship to Bama, and they got knocked out. So, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun watching 12 teams battle it out for the best college football team. I'm really excited for when the playoffs come.
Oh yeah, I love this. This could be probably the best time of the year. That and we
No
definitely
doubt,
have
no doubt.
definitely have to get together and watch this and have some food and watch some hockey and all that stuff. It's gonna be really fun.
For sure. So, well, yeah, that's kind of the show for today. We're gonna try to keep it around a half hour. This makes it a little easier for listening, I think, too, and for me for going back and editing everything and dropping it. So we're gonna continue dropping episodes. We'll try for Mondays. If not Tuesday, Wednesday. Hopefully I can get this episode out by Monday or by tomorrow. And I'm thinking next week we'll probably take a week off since it's the bye week. Give us just a week to kind of rejuvenate and enjoy this nice fall weather. So yeah,
I just want to say one thing. I want to say a huge congrats. I do have a member of the family that just was born last Saturday. I want to say congrats to my sister and her boyfriend for welcoming a baby girl in the world. her name is Rosalia. I'm not gonna say the full name because it's a tongue twister. But she's doing good. She's in the NICU unit right now. She was born on Saturday, the 28th. Um, she was only 1 pound 12 ounces. She was 12 weeks early, but she's in the NICU unit. She's doing really good, and hopefully, really soon, she'll be coming home with her parents and enjoying much time with her and her uncle and the whole family. So I just want to say congrats to Heather and Brandon.
Yeah, big congrats to them, DC. That's very cool. Super happy for your sister and her boyfriend Brandon, and welcome Rosalia to the world. So you got a great uncle there, and I know that he loves you very much. But yeah, just everyone, thank you for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Skol Vikes.
Go Vikes.
Thank you for listening to our episode. Be sure to give us a follow on Instagram and X at Naptime Sports Talk Podcast for content related to the pod. Thank you for the support.